Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Coffee with Summer. Today we're going to talk about the old friend of all times, boundaries. So we got a lot of questions around boundaries. How do I create healthy boundaries? How do we do that? How I know it's healthy for me? What if it hurted somebody else's feelings? Yada, yada, yada. So let's start there. Research have shown that the highest performers and the lowest performers are both givers, okay? But do you know what is the difference between the highest performers and the lowest performers? The difference is two things: boundaries and spaces to receive and restore yourself back to health. The high performers have very solid boundaries, unnegotiable. They do it with ease, with love, with kindness. There's no struggle, there's no guilt, there's no angry boundaries, okay? And then when they have their downtime to recover, they really recover. Low performers are compulsive givers. They give, and they give out of guilt. They can't maintain a boundary, and they don't know how to receive to actually recover and come back to center. Okay? So today we're going to talk about that, so that if you are a giver but you are in the low performer category, hopefully today's episode is going to really help you to go up to the high performance. Okay? So let me ask you first a question. Why do we need boundaries? Okay, you need to be very clear. Knowing your why make things easier for you. Are you creating boundaries for protection? Are you creating boundaries for nourishment? Are you creating boundaries to have kinder spaces around you? Why? So that's your first step. For me right now, in this stage of my life, I create boundaries for two reasons: for nourishment and protection. Literally, every single night before I go to bed, I ask myself, is my interactions today at work, with friends, in my life, were nourishing to my soul or not? And if I found an answer of not, I start analyzing that, why that wasn't nourishing. Oh, this interaction didn't feel fair, or this interaction felt manipulative. Then I think about how can I bring this in a conversation that will be a hard conversation, to bring it with a friend, with a coworker, whoever, and bring back that space of nourishment that I need in this stage of my life, okay? So think of boundaries as a home. Why do you want a home? Some people want a home to just sleep in it, and they don't care it's clean or not clean, big or small, they don't care. Some people want very, very clear about, I want a big home, it's very clean, it's very clear, there's so much sunshine coming in. So your home is your boundaries. You don't have boundaries, you're energetically homeless. I repeat that again. You don't have boundaries, you're energetically homeless, which means anyone can come, anyone can get out, any energy can hit you, any situation, you're gonna go with the flow, even if the flow is not yours or it doesn't feel right to your alignment. And we talked about alignment big time in, I think, the first or the second episode. So number one is your why. Why do you want boundaries? Number two, the characteristic of a healthy boundary, that it's flexible and it's kind, okay? If you found yourself creating boundary out of anger, know that you are 3 steps late in creating that boundary, okay? So if you felt that anger, it means, oh, you should have created it here, but that person or this situation is already too close now, and you need enough force of anger to push it back, and then it becomes kinder again, okay? However, even if you have kind boundaries with tough personalities or toxic personalities, it's gonna feel like hell. It doesn't matter how kind, flexible, amazing you are. So this is what requires your discernment now. How many people around me are toxic? How many people are not gonna be okay with my new boundary? Because the people who don't like boundaries are the people who have power over you. They have been manipulating you, or they are happy with your homeless energetical situation, okay? So I'm talking that in general right now, not about the hard personalities or the toxic people. So around regular people who like to see you happy, like to see you nourished, like to see you healthy, boundaries will feel easy, will feel warm, will feel kind, okay? Now, you created your boundaries. Boundaries is something like, think of it as flexible, right? A membrane around you. You gotta be watching it most of the time, right? So by the end of your day, just take look at it. How was my day today? What are the moments and the interactions in my day today that felt nourishing to me, that felt really good? This interaction with that person felt super inspiring, felt super exciting. Okay, Take note. Oh, I love those personalities. These are the people. Those are my tribe. Those are my people. This is how we know, right? The healthier the boundaries, the more you're going to attract people who are in the same vibrational level. Okay? You are not in a space where you need to save anyone. You're dealing with your equals. You're dealing with your people. So it feels great. It's almost you together are creating a portal that is nourishing for everyone in the group. Okay? So when you feel that, take note. Oh, these are the people that I'm going to be around. These are the boundaries that I'm going to create. And also take note when you leave a situation exhausted or tired or doubting yourself. Something went off there. Some kind of boundary need to be there. Okay? As a rule of thumb, you want to create boundaries that feels kind to you, that feels nourishing to you, feels empowering to you. So empowerment, nourishment are very important because it brings you again to a space of flow or alignment, so back to your depth and your essence. So when you are creating or contributing to the world, you are coming from a place of your truth, the ventral state that we talked about, okay? Not the sympathetic, not the dorsal, okay? The moment you feel yourself falling down in your nervous system, in your sympathetic fight, flight, freeze, or dorsal, it might be a friend visiting from the past, an old trauma, or actually a trigger from the current environment. You might need very strong boundaries until you heal. So sometimes think of yourself, if you have a wound, right? You need to protect it a little bit until you heal it, and then you come back with your original boundaries. So allow that flexibility in your boundaries, especially when you are going through a healing process, okay? So think of boundaries in why you are creating them. Who are the people that feel good to be around them? And always take note at the end of every day, and keep your boundaries healthy, kind, empowering, and nourishing. Thanks for being here today. We'll see you in our next episode. Bye-bye.